Hi guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. I am Adam McCullough. This is Transfer Daily Live. We are back with the regular transfer news live streams here on Full Time Devils, and we are back again. I am Adam McCullough. Hope you guys are all doing well. There's been a few confirmed transfer news. We know Herrera's leaving on a free. He's already said his goodbyes, as has Antonio Valencia already said his goodbyes as well at Manchester United. So Herrera and Valencia are on their way. We're sure there'll be a few more on their way from Manchester United, and hopefully a number of players coming through the door at Old Trafford as well. It's a big summer ahead for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, a big summer ahead for Manchester United, and we need to back the manager so that he can go in to the new season feeling fresh, feeling ready to go, and feeling like we can actually try and do something in the campaign and show signs of progression as a football club. We come into this live stream today with the news that the terms could be agreed with Daniel James on a transfer to Manchester United. Now, this has been coming out from everywhere, and it was Sky that broke it, and then MEN and a few others have run with it as well, saying that terms have been agreed between Manchester United and the player, but not between the two clubs yet. So we're yet to agree a fee with Swansea. Now, earlier on in the year, when he was linked with Leeds United and he was linked with another number of clubs that weren't as big as Manchester United, you were hearing about fees between £5 and £10 million. Since United have come into the discussion, obviously that's gone above £10 million. You're hearing 15 kind of million for him. Now, of course, there was news with Graham Potter, his former manager, who left Swansea this summer and joined Brighton, could potentially be in the running for him. But now it seems Brighton, Graham Potter are out of the running for him, if you believe these current reports, and it's just Manchester United now that are in the queue for him, with just a fee to be agreed with Swansea. No sign on whether a fee has been agreed yet, but apparently the terms are done. Now, this is Sky Sports that have been reporting this news, so of course now that Sky Sports News are reporting it, they've reported a lot of things in the past that never ever happened, never came to fruition, and Manchester United never signed some of those players. So we can't take everything that they say for granted, but the player himself is a 21-year-old Welsh winger. He's right-footed, but he can play on the left as well. He's got an eye for a goal and an assist in 38 appearances for Swansea. He got 5 goals and 10 assists this season as well. And as I said, the reports are saying that terms have been agreed with the player, and Brighton have dropped out, although no fee is yet to be agreed with Manchester United and with the player and with the club themselves. So it's been a slow start to the summer. Could Daniel James be the first player that Manchester United sign? Obviously, be interesting whether that happens. Gary saying Sky News is fake transfer news. I saw another copy as well, another comment which said that Daniel James isn't going to win us the league, isn't going to win us trophy. Now, I don't think any one signing is going to win us trophies at Manchester United. Now, I'm not saying Daniel James is guaranteed to be a quality player. I don't know a whole lot about him. The glimpses I've seen of him, he looks quick, he looks confident, he looks like he's got proper width, and he looks like a talented player, but that's all it is. I've seen a lot of talented players come and go. I've seen talented players at Old Trafford fail to make the grade. So you can't get excited about these kind of signings and say, these are the guys, these are going to do everything, they're going to become our main men at Old Trafford. And I'm sure because he's Welsh and he can play on the left wing, he'll be compared to Ryan Giggs. But it's good to see Manchester United looking to sign players that we could potentially turn into our own world beaters, into our own top talent. I'm sick of Manchester United travelling around the transfer market looking for players that we could have signed 2-3 years before, when they were cheaper and before they made an initial transfer. You look at the likes in the Premier League, Christian Eriksen. You look around other clubs in the Premier League, Riyad Mahrez's and N'Golo Kante's, etc. These were players that teams took an opportunity on, and they made them into superstars and made them into fantastic players. Now we need to do the same. In the past, we've done that as well. Yes, we've always signed, top quality players, the likes of Juan Mata, Varane, the likes of Dimitar Berbatov. But when we signed top players and top signings, top transfers, they weren't always guaranteed world class, or they weren't world class yet. You look at Rio Ferdinand, you look at Wayne Rooney, you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, you even Nani, your Andersons. We were buying players that had potential and could grow and could get embedded into the way of thinking at Manchester United. So it's good to see us, if we are in for Daniel James, that kind of profile of player. Now, looking at other players of a different profile, a more experienced player that's already at the club, Juan Mata. Now, there's been reports in Spain that Juan Mata could be set to stay at Manchester United after Manchester United had increased the offer that we had made to him in terms of a contract. Now, I don't know whether that's an increase in terms of wages. I don't know whether that's an increase in terms of years on the contract. Have we offered him 2 instead of 1, and that's made his mind up? I'm not too sure on that one. Now, look, I don't think Juan Mata should be starting a lot of games for Manchester United. I think we need to see a team that can progress and not have to rely on the likes of Juan Mata, the likes of Ashley Young, the likes of Chris Smalling, etc. But what I would say about Juan Mata that I wouldn't say about some other players in the Manchester United team, he's a player that has the right attitude. He's a player that understands the club. He's a player that can still offer something from the bench, but he's a player that I don't want to see starting too much. But what I would say is, over the years, Manchester United have lost an awful lot of experience. We lost Wayne Rooney in the dressing room. We lost Zlatan Ibrahimovic in the dressing room. Obviously, Juan Mata could be another experienced player that we lose in the dressing room. And that would be a problem, I think. We're looking at Herrera. We've already lost another player with experience that we would have liked to have kept. So I don't think keeping Juan Mata is that much of an issue as some seem to have suggested. So I don't mind Juan Mata staying at Manchester United. Obviously, you're not expecting it to be on excessive wages. And he's a player that I don't mind keeping around the club. He's not a bad influence. And I don't think he's that bad of a player that, we have to just push him out of the front door, the back door immediately. I mean, there's other players in the squad that we need to be looking at getting going first. And you've got to say, if we were to get rid of them, and then you add Mata, Herrera, etc. on, the numbers that are leaving are just incredible. So keeping the likes of Juan Mata isn't that bad for another year or 2. Guys, how are you guys all doing anyway? It's been a long time since I've done one of these live streams. Obviously, we haven't had any fixtures recently, and we haven't had much transfer news to talk about. So how are you guys doing? Let us know if you have any questions about the transfer window, if you want to know my input on anything that I've heard. Obviously, I'm not an in the know. I'm not someone that pretends to know more than I do. But what I will do is give you my opinion on things. Now, with this Daniel James thing, I wouldn't be surprised to see if it's true. It's a low risk transfer. You're looking 15 million-ish, maybe 20 million with bonuses. You're looking at a young 21-year-old player. He occupies a position that we're quite weak in at the moment in terms of a wing position. Right-footed, can play on the left-hand side, so that's a little bit of flexibility. He's got pace. We want to have quick players in the team. Obviously unproven, so that's a little bit of a question mark. But at 15 to 20 million, as I said, it's a low risk transfer. Now, will it come true remains to be seen, but Sky Sports are saying that the deal is agreed between the player and the club. We just need to agree a deal with the club. Swansea. Kian is saying Dean Henderson, get him back. I think we need to leave him out there on loan. Sheffield United have been promoted. Give him a year in the Premier League with them. I don't think rushing him back to Old Trafford is the thing to do. And to be honest, I'd put Joe Pereira ahead of him in terms of a young goalkeeper that I want to see coming through at Manchester United. That's not to say I have anything against Dean Henderson. I think he's a talented player, a talented goalkeeper, and the more players that we've got coming through and clicking at the heels of the senior players is better. But in terms of rushing him back to the first team, what's the point? We've got David De Gea now. We may have had a bad season, but he's still a very talented goalkeeper, and he's still our number one. And I'm sure Dean Henderson doesn't want to be sitting around on the bench, because that's not good, really, is it? Glyn saying he wants Ndombele. That's obviously a name that keeps being talked about from the French leagues. We're hearing about Pepe as well, potentially. Loads of names popping up from the French league. The French league is actually a decent place to sign players from. It's not too bad at all. Opinions on Dybala, obviously not priority, but would still be class, says Dan B. Obviously, Dybala is an absolutely fantastically talented player, but is he the kind of player that we need to sign right now? Probably. We need to focus elsewhere. Yes, of course, I would take him at Manchester United in a heartbeat, but is it the one we need to be looking at right now? No, I'd get a few other things in place before that. John Marston says he would love to see De Ligt, to be honest. I would love De Ligt at Manchester United. Do I think it's going to happen? No. I think a lot of the talk that we hear at the moment is probably rumours emanating from his agents. His agency's Raiola. Now we know Raiola's suspended in terms of acting as an agent, but I'm sure that won't last, and I'm sure he'll be able to do business even if he's not personally involved for a company or whatever. De Ligt will be on the move, but I think they're looking for more money from Barcelona, and they'll probably get it as well, because De Ligt, Barcelona ain't going to be looking to miss out on someone like De Ligt. Now, someone says tomorrow's transfers. Today, we're going to be doing this at a little bit of an earlier time because more people can get involved. Obviously, if something pops off in the evening or in the morning or whatever at any time, and it's official and it's exclusive and confirmed, then we will bring you that. But we're going to be going live at around 8 p.m. Daily, Monday to Friday, giving you the latest transfer news as we are today. Obviously, it was a little bit earlier on today. Thoughts on Fosu, Mensa, skirt. Be interesting to see who we sign. Obviously, wouldn't mind seeing coming back. The Axel Tuanzebe is another one, but it's interesting again. If Aston Villa get promoted through the playoff final, do you then keep Axel Tuanzebe on loan there at Aston Villa, knowing that he'll get a lot of game time, depending on who they sign? Obviously, as well, they could sign a first team defender to replace him with a little bit more experience, but I'm sure they'd be open to keeping him on loan because he is a quality player and he's been very good for them this season. Centre back Neves, Wan-Bissaka will solve everything, says Fawzi. I think I wrote something for the it might have been the Telegraph, but apologies if I got it wrong, and it was the Times. But we did a season review, and I gave my opinion on who I'd like to see us sign, and I put De Ligt, Wan-Bissaka, Ruben Neves in there. So we're kind of on the same page with that one. That would be a dream summer if we got those kind of signings, and I think I added Sancho to the list, plus a striker if Lukaku leaves. But it's going to be a long summer. Those are stories we'll be talking about, I'm sure. Guys, thank you for joining us today. It's been over 1.3 K joining us live, so thank you very much for watching today. It has been Full-Time Devils Transfer Daily Live with the news that Daniel James could be Manchester United's first signing of the summer. If that is made official and if that is confirmed, then you will hear it first from us here on Full-Time Devils, because I or one of the lads will be going live. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're keeping it locked. We'll be back tomorrow unless something happens. See you later.